Good morning student. Today our topic is Western blotting. So in my last class I have already discussed other two electroblotting techniques, that is southern blot and northern blot. So the principle of Western blot is the Western blot, sometimes we called protein immunoblot or Western blotting, is a widely used analytical technique in molecular biology and immunogenetics to detect specific proteins in a sample of tissue homogenate or extract. That means you are looking for a certain protein in the whole protein extract. This is the method by which you can detect or and quantize and can determine its molecular weight of your protein of interest. Now we will discuss the method. The samples you need to undergoes protein denaturation followed by gel electrophoresis. Let me elaborate this step. This is, you need to extract protein sample from the source. Source could be bacterial cell, or it could be cell line, it could be tissue. So you need to homogenate, lyse the cell and need to extract the protein. And the protein, you need to estimate the protein by using UV spectrophotometer. And then you have to run the protein in SDS page. So the first one is gel electrophoresis, what we are mentioning here, SDS page, which I have discussed already. So when you are running an SDS page, you are denaturing your sample. So the protein here is only separated by on the basis of its molecular weight. So the charge, it is all negatively charged because you are treating with SDS. You are adding beta-macroethanol and you are heat denaturing the protein. So it is completely negatively charged and it is only separated based on its molecular weight in SDS page gel electrophoresis. Once the electrophoresis we have completed, then we are doing another transfer technique which we have discussed in southern blot and northern blot, that capillary rise method. But earlier people used to do that capillary rise method for Western blot, but as the protein are big enough, so it is difficult, it takes long time to transfer by using capillary rise method from the gel to the nitrocellulose membrane. So to avoid that, another technique has evolved that we call electroblotting was performed and protein samples were transferred to, we use another type of membrane. This membrane is named as polyvinylidene difluoride, PVDF membrane. Why this membrane? This is the thermoplastic type and fluoro polymer. So it has an affinity towards amino acids, so the transfer is better compared to nitrocellulose. People can use nitrocellulose membrane also. A synthetic, after transfer what we do, we have to block the membrane, but ultimately we have to incubate with the primary antibody. A synthetic or animal derived antibody known as primary antibody is created that recognize and bind to a specific target protein. So our goal is to identify the protein of our interest. So we have to design an primary antibody against that particular protein and we are incubating with that protein. Then electrophoresis membrane need to be washed properly so that there should not be any non-specific binding of the antibody and excess antibody is washed off. Then a secondary antibody is added which recognize and bind to the primary antibody. The secondary antibody is visualized through various methods such as staining, immunofluorescence and radioactivity, allowing direct detection of the specific target protein. We will discuss this diagram little elaborately. So what you are seeing here, we are seeing an SDS page separation of protein. So we are not discussing here the procedure of SDS page. So we are starting that you know what is SDS page. So here proteins are separated accordingly their molecular weight. So there is a 50 kD marker. That means it's the bottom is the 50 kD and it's multiple of 50. So this is the ladder with whom we can compare the protein size. Once this gel is ready, then you are putting the gel is blue color. On top of that you are keeping the PVDF membrane and you are covering both the side with the filter paper and sponge. Then you clip this one and vertically dip in a transfer solution. Electrophoretically transfer of protein sample to PVDF membrane. So proteins are negatively charged, and this should be in the negative electrode, and that should be towards the positive electrode. Remember this direction. Once transfer is over, so pink color is our membrane, PVDF membrane, that we need to block the membrane with BSA or non-fat milk. Commercially available any milk powder, non-fat milk powder, you can dissolve in PBST, phosphate buffer saline plus 2-in-20. This is the buffer we use. Sometimes TBST also people use. TBST, tris buffer saline, and 2-in-20, 20%, 2-in-20 we use. This is the buffer. We have to incubate for 1 hour. This is the blocking. So all the protein present in BSA or the milk protein will cover. Then we are incubating the primary antibody. We are looking for a target protein. So we know the antibody. We have already designed the primary antibody for the protein, and that been incubated with this same solution. That means PBST or it is TBST or PBST. This is the buffer we are incubating your primary antibody, most likely overnight, 4-degree temperature. So after that incubation, we have to wash it properly. Remember, that is washing is very important, because we are allowing this antibody to bind only our target protein, but unfortunately it will bind to some other protein, but that binding will be loose. So if you wash it, that loose bonded antibody will be washed off, but the only where the target protein and antibody binding is there, that is very strong, that cannot be removed by simple washing. Then we are using the secondary antibody. So secondary antibody may be linked with a fluorescence molecule or maybe an enzyme. Here it is an enzyme, which is HRP conjugated secondary antibody. Now if you give the substrate, it will give a signal which you can detect in autoradiography. Okay, so if the primary antibody is linked to the protein, which is a blue color spot, and the secondary antibody will come and bind only the primary antibody, and then this reaction, because you will get a signal. After adding the secondary antibody also, you need to wash, because that excess secondary antibody should not be there. The blood will be very dark color. So after all this wash, so first wash after incubation with the primary antibody, second wash is after incubating with the secondary antibody. Once the wash is done, then you are going for an autoradiography. If you use a particular antibody for your 50 kilodalton protein, which is showing here, you will see this kind of band will appear on the film. So this is the procedure. Then the application. This is a technique to determine the size and amount of protein is given in the sample. This is a unique technique, and the disease diagnosis detects antibody against virus or bacteria in serum. Western blotting technique is confirmatory test for many diseases. One such is HIV. It detects anti-HIV antibody in patients' serum. Now we will compare these 3 blotting technique. So we will see southern blot, northern blot, and western blot. So our target molecule is DNA for southern blot, northern blot RNA, and western blot protein. Sample preparation we have to use for southern blot DNA extract and enzyme digestion. Remember, enzyme digestion is required. Then RNA, no enzymatic digestion, and protein, whole protein extraction. Then separation, both cases, for all it is electrophoresis. Remember, for RNA we are preparing the gel with formaldehyde to avoid any secondary structure. Then third is membrane material, nylon membrane, nitrocellulose membrane, but here PVDF. For western blot, PVDF is preferable. Probe, nucleic acid probe, sequence homologous to the target for southern blot. For northern blot, DNA, RNA, or oligonucleotide probe can be used, but for western blot it is primary antibody. Now probe, how we are labeling? Most of the cases for southern and northern blot, it is radio level, preferably P32 level. Enzyme also people can use, but for the western blot it is enzyme. probe how you are labeling. Then the detection, X-ray film, because of autoradiography or chemiluminescence or X-ray film. Here also, if it is primary antibody enzyme link, definitely you can see X-ray film. CCD camera also you can visualize, or infrared imaging system also you can use if the detection you have this facility. So I believe you have understood all the three techniques. Thank you very much.